It is fall time, and for a lot of the country, that means pumpkin spice season. And one of the most common places it's used is in overnight oats, which are usually consumed for breakfast. In this video, I'm gonna go over the pros and the cons of overnight oats for breakfast to help you decide if this is your breakfast superfood or you should avoid it altogether. First of all, I'm making this video because I see a lot of posts on social media and on YouTube calling overnight oats a high protein, low carb breakfast, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. There is some protein in oats and there are a significant amount of carbohydrates. That would be like calling an apple a high fat fruit, but apples are mostly carbohydrates, just like oats are mostly carbohydrates as well. And you can easily verify this by pulling up a nutrition calculator and putting in any brand of oats, unless it's been fortified with extra protein, and you'll see that the majority of the macros are coming from carbohydrates. Now that's not necessarily a problem, but calling it a high protein, low carbohydrate food is just inaccurate, especially compared to other more traditional low carb, high protein breakfasts like meat and eggs. Oats are also one of the most divisive breakfast foods because the conventional types, especially here in America, are heavily sprayed with glyphosate, other pesticides, herbicides, rodenticides, and have all kinds of nasty stuff on them that make them a really low quality food. And so the low carb world, the paleo world, all of these groups unfairly malign oats because they're conflating poor food quality, low food grade, with the actual food itself. Low quality oats also have aflatoxins and mycotoxins and other things that can have a net suppressive effect on the immune system. Whereas the higher quality oats, because of the beta-glucans, resistant starches, and a variety of different phenols, can have a net immune enhancing effect. Now, one of the main issues with oats in general is the net effect they have on the gut barrier, not just in celiacs, but across the board. In 100% of people, they temporarily increase the leakiness of your gut and allow undigested food particles and glyphosate residues and other things to cross from your stomach into your bloodstream. So the quality of the oats in this stage will also play a role in determining the net impact on your health. This is also where genetics comes in, because for some people, that increased intestinal permeability, that leakiness of your gut lasts for about 15 minutes, and for others, it can last up to 4 hours. And this isn't just letting the oats themselves and the stuff within the oats, the contaminants, cross in your bloodstream, but really anything you're consuming at the same time. So if you're going to have overnight oats for breakfast, you want to make sure you're getting non-GMO, organic, and preferably certified glyphosate residue free. Basically, the higher the quality you can procure, the better. And when I have it, my favorite is sprouted oats. You can do it yourself or you can get them pre-sprouted, and that just makes them easier for the body to process. If possible, you also want to check if your oats are steel or stone milled. Stone milled are the way oats were traditionally processed, and they are easier on the body but harder to find. Now, some of the benefits of oats. First of all, they contain beta-glucans, as I previously mentioned, which feed bifidobacteria and help your body produce short-chain fatty acids, which is great for gut health and immune function overall. Oats also have a variety of phenols, and they include, pardon the pronunciations, avinacolasates, avinosins, and avinathramides are especially good for vascular health and to increase nitric oxide production. The different types of oats also have different amounts of digestible and resistant starches. Steel-cut oats and oat bran tend to have more resistant starch, and that's thought to be good for gut health as well. All oats, however, are powerful tools to control hunger and impact your satiety levels. They also reduce cholesterol levels and can offset the effects of ammonia production, making them an awesome tool for anyone on a high protein diet. The only way that I would consume them would be with a high quality protein source, such as grass-fed whey protein, because then you're also getting some bioactive peptides and you're actually turning it into a higher protein food. And then alongside with some other sources of polyphenols like berries. Plus, if you don't use very much water, you get a greater reduction in hunger hormones like ghrelin, greater activation of GLP-1, another satiety hormone, and your stomach feels physically more full. Then you have the pumpkin spice, which people tend to add in the fall, which contains cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, clove, and sometimes allspice. But in order to get the best effects, you want to make it yourself, and instead of using cassia cinnamon like most blends use, you can use Ceylon cinnamon, which has less impact on your liver enzymes, making it a healthier choice. And cinnamon itself has also been shown to reduce blood sugar. It's not one of the strongest glucose disposal agents, but it can make a difference. Now, before you rush off to the store and pick up all these ingredients and start making this for yourself every morning, you'll want to look into your own genetic profile and specifically how you do with gluten and grains and oats. And if you have the profile that's associated with greater intestinal permeability, probably not going to be in your best interest to consume this all that often. But if you're in the other camp and you tolerate oats well, you want to get the highest grade, highest quality oats you can get. And this is best consumed in the fall time when immunity is in greatest need, just before the cold season, and when oats are naturally in season. That's also the Ayurvedic recommendation, because when you eat foods in season, your enzymes and your gut microbes better tolerate and process whatever food it is. Even still, I wouldn't consume this every day, because outside of the total protein and carbohydrate content, you're also training your mind with the sweetness level of the foods you're consuming. So if you're having a candy-like overnight oatmeal every single day, you're teaching your body that it's going to need to produce more insulin in the mornings, when it's better to mix it up and have different protein sources, different carbohydrate sources, so that you don't develop any intolerances to any particular ingredients or foods. And if you do make overnight oats, I'd love to know your tips and tricks, what you do to make them healthier and to potentially offset some of the potential consequences associated with most modern oats. So if that's you, share your experience in the comments below, and until next time, be an outlier.